Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you a backyard shed project that I did recently. Now this is a lifetime shed. It comes with a 10-year warranty and it has really nice side panels. It's got some windows, it's got some vents on the top. And the first step that you can see, I have some pressure treated wood. These are 8 feet 2x4s, and these are the screws that I used for it. Now I did space these about a foot apart, and the plywood I used was either 1/2 inch or 5/8, just thick enough to where you're not going to cave in your floor. And it does come with a plastic floor too to put on top of it. So you can see I used the 2-inch construction screws to put the 2x4s together, and I'm just sweeping off the top sand. I filled it with sand, and I had some metal tubing around the yard that I threw in there that I wanted to get rid of. Now because I didn't cut off 1.5 inches on one side, I ended up getting some old plywood and just putting that in the center. And so here I am screwing in the plywood to the 2x4s. And I'm just matching up the other screw to line it up for the 2x4. And then on the plywood I did use exterior, and they're coated screws. That way they won't rust as easily. And you can see some of the properties of the shed. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. And the dimensions are roughly 8 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet, just minus a few inches on every side. Now for the first box, these are the side panels, and then this is the roof truss. This is the truss that goes into the center. This one goes across for the other 3 roof trusses. And that's where the roof trusses hook into. And because you have small pieces up front for roof panels, there's a little bit of an extension that you put on these. And be careful with your hardware. I was short a plastic anchor, and I ended up finding it later, but they don't give you any extras. So just make sure you're aware of that. Just keep track of all your hardware. Now this vent, it's going into the roof panel, the side panels, or I should say the window panels. So there's a screen on there so nothing gets in there. And then you're going to spread this black tar thing around the window seal, and that's what keeps out any rain or moisture from the windows. And these plastic windows, they are tinted, so that's pretty nice. And you just push them down, and that's what makes that seal, and then you'll put screws all around there. And you can see they're all screwed in there. So you'll have 2 side panels with windows, and then you'll have a front window panel with 3 windows in it. Now this is the door section, and those holes will line up with that metal bar will fit in there. And this is the back of the edge of the door. And that's where your latch goes. And then you're going to drill about 5 holes through that metal tubing, and then the screws go in there. Now there's your handle, and you'll have handles on both sides, on both doors. And you can see that metal hinge tube, that goes on one side, and then the square tubing goes on the other side. Now this is just for drainage here. And then this is where your 2 doors are going to come together. Those get screwed into the flooring. Now these caps, this is where your hinge tubes are going to go into. And they just sit under the floor. And you have one on each side. Now when you're holding these, you want to push them together and then screw the 2 panels together. And as you can see, there's a lot of these screws. And there's Pebbles. It's the newest addition to the family. Such a great dog. Now these metal caps are for the bars that go into the wall panels, and they'll just slide into the middle of these wall panels here. And then when you're putting these wall panels together, you'll want to squeeze them together before you put the screws in the best you can. And there's the other hinge tube for the other side, or the bar that goes next to the hinge tube. This is for the wall panel. And you'll have to hit it with the mallet to get it in. And then here's the shelf, and on the sides it was difficult to line it up right because the holes weren't lining up on the plastic. So I either had to go down one or up one on this, just where the holes were lining up. But you got the brackets, the 2 brackets, and then you got the side brackets. Now this is the centerpiece that you do early on, and then there's the truss guides up top, and you'll want to leave those loose. And there's your window panels. Now this area, that black area up top, that is hard to squeeze together if those wall panels aren't squeezed together. And there's a door stop there. Tighten that up. times with the trusses put across for the roof panels. So these are the bolts that you want to leave loose until you get all the roof panels on, because you will have to shift them back and forth just to get them on right. And then here's some of your roof panels. Bars just snap in there. And then these plastic anchors, they like to fall out when you flip them over, when you flip the roof panels over. So you'll want to screw them in with a screw, and then that will push them out. And then usually that'll hold them in there, but not always. So you may have to do it a couple times. And then here's the technique I was telling you, just screw them all the way in, and then take the screw out. Then usually those anchors will stay in. And then with those window panels, be careful when you're installing them, because they're easily scratched. And there's the outside of it. There's some screws to put on the roof panels on the outside there. And then this was the metal frame towards the front of the windows that you're attaching to the side. And the hook for accessories, for your rake or whatever you have, just pushes right in there. Now this is the back of that side of the door frame. Just tighten that up. And then the other side, the plate where the latch is at, that just gets tightened up too. And then these screws, they go in the corners of the flooring, and they'll fit down into your base. And that just holds it down for weather. Hopefully it'll keep it from moving. Okay, and this is the finished product. So that's what's going to look like when you're all done. Overall, it was a really nice backyard project. And I think some of the plastic pieces, they felt a little flimsy, but with the metal inserts and the metal framing that had been added, it seemed solid enough to really endure just about anything that goes on in your backyard. So thanks for watching, and I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and comment. And good luck on your next project. Thanks for watching.